But like, did you ever imagine?
No. Well, I was thinking too, a lot of people do podcasts also like on their laptops, like with headphones, like where they're not together
Yeah.
together. But I
Maybe
like
when
being
I'm in Worlds,
right. That would be
we
fun.
have to do that.
But I like being face to face with the person too.
I do too.
Yeah.
And you were talking the other day about like having more cameras at different angles.
Mhm.
There's these two that I watch on TikTok that they do that where they're like they'll film the one guy and then the other guy
Mhm.
and it like volleys. The editing that they
You have to go through a lot of editing because it's
yeah.
like, yeah, there'd be one on me and one on you.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, when the other person's talking, it would be a lot. Are we up to par?
Is that a question?
I think we are. I think we could do it one day.
I feel like one day.
Yeah.
Can we hire someone to do the editing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I don't
For sure
have that in me, probably. So, welcome.
Yeah, we're here. I don't know why I look at the camera like, hello.
Like, there's going to be people that look back.
Right.
There are.
Yeah.
You just can't see them.
When you listen to podcasts, do you watch them or do you just listen to them?
I've never watched one.
The only time I've watched one has been like if it's on Instagram is like
yeah, like the
clip.
reels or the TikToks of them. Same. Like I haven't watched like a full YouTube, but I'll listen to them.
Yeah, same.
I don't even know how you get on like Apple Podcasts, how that gets picked up.
I don't know.
Research. We're gonna have to research
figure that one out. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
So what's on our agenda today? A day in the life of a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. So we talked about that. Like we're both right now stay-at-home moms. Mm-hmm. So I guess let's talk about the relatability between that, and like even being a working mom, because we both used to be working moms.
Absolutely. It's just busy all the time.
Yeah.
Like I feel like not a lot of people, I guess that's rude to say. A lot of times people think that because you're a stay-at-home mom, you're just like sitting on your butt watching TV or like going out and having drinks or lunch with your friends all the time, which there are times when you can do that.
Yes.
But a lot of the time it's like when I wake up and I'm at home, I never sit on my couch. Like this is a luxury right now in this moment that we get to have this conversation.
100%. Yes.
Because when I get home, it's like I get the baby ready, kids are ready for school, out the door, and then it's like I'm in my kitchen all day, all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how your mornings start, but like make breakfast, clean the kitchen, baby needs to take a nap. Our days are different, so
yeah, I don't have the baby aspect.
That's a whole new thing now again, because
because Iris was in school.
Yeah, she's about to be 9, so
that's an adjustment.
Well, because I'm trying to retrain myself for her naps. Like when Iris was little, I was a nap Nazi. Like I was like, she has to take a nap at this time, and then her second nap is this time, and she goes to bed at this time. Amira just wings it. We wing it. We're like whatever is happening, whatever's going on. That's when our naps are. So like that's been an adjustment because I'm not the same person that I was.
Well, and
when Iris was a baby.
Family's not the same unit because you have.
Because Iris was all I had to worry about at that time. So,
yeah, I was. Mine are a 4-year age gap, and I was very like schedule oriented with both of them. But Jake, when the twins were born, Jake wasn't in school yet, so they just all went to daycare at the same place. But I remember like bedtime was bedtime, nap time was nap time, and it was scheduled. So
I unfortunately am not like that right now.
Well, that's okay. That's what works for your family right now.
Well, and then when the kids have their things going on at the end of the day, because when Iris was little, 7:00 was bedtime. But that now was it's ours. Like we have cheer that's not over till 7:15, and then we've got the 20-minute drive home, and she, you know what I mean, she's with me all the time, the baby. So it's like some nights she does get to go to bed at 7 or 7:30. Some nights it's 8:30, 9:00.
Yeah,
depending on what's going on. So
That's babies, once you have kids, like reintroducing that structure in life and everything has to be just a shock.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad shock, just a shock. It's
well, my husband's constantly saying, I can't believe we started over again. It's like even last night we were at the dinner table and he was like, I just can't believe I had another baby at this old age. I'm like, calm down. You are not that
He's
old.
not old.
No, like it's like we did start all over again because like the kids are now like, Orion's about to be 10 and Iris is 8 and it's like they can do everything by themselves now.
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh, here comes the baby.
But when Amir's ready for like cereal and everything on a Saturday morning, Iris and Orion can do all that
100%
for her.
We're gonna put him to work.
Yeah.
Just kidding, kind of.
I mean, yeah. No, I do not believe in like making your kids do everything. Like they are not mini parents.
Exactly.
However, it does teach a certain amount of responsibility when they are able to help. You're an oldest.
I am. I'm the oldest of 10. I have a huge family, but I agree with that because it gives a sense of responsibility. And me and my sister Katie, we were the oldest of all of the kids. And it was like she and I learned how to work together and have teamwork. And it's like we were never forced to do anything. It's like, and I see it with my kids too. It's like, I want to jump in and do this. Can I change your diaper? It's like if they're asking me to do these things, let's do it. Can I give her a bath? Like, yeah, we'll do it together. So, but I'm never going to be like, you have to do, like, she's your responsibility.
Yeah.
It's your sibling and they want to take care of her.
Right.
So, and you're right. It teaches for my kids right now, like responsibility and teamwork. And I think it's important for them.
Yes. And when they grow up and have a house, it teaches them to rely on the other people in the house also. Yeah. Like they don't have to do everything because they didn't watch their mom do everything. Right. Like, don't get me wrong, you probably do everything, but there's also just certain things that if you ask for help, it's there, yeah, and they're learning.
It's not expected for mom to have to do everything by herself all the time, that she has help, which is important.
Gosh, I'm doing that thing where I like
well, it's okay. No one's going to watch the video. They're just going to listen.
They're just going to listen.
It's fine.
Well, if they are watching, they're probably like, why is she doing that with her shoulders? I don't know.
Because it's like, I don't know about you, but like, I'm like, everyone's watching.
Oh, I'm very conscious of the fact that the camera's on us.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
So we have busy, like Mondays are busy days for us and Thursdays are busy days for us. I feel like Tuesday is like my break day, but not really because it's my grocery shopping day.
Oh, yeah.
And going to the grocery store as a mom, if you're not like putting in pickup orders,
it's like a to-do.
That's the whole day.
Yeah.
I'm dramatic though, because I'm like, I've been out of the house for 2 hours and the day is gone.
Well, when you're out of the house by yourself, so for me to run around and do groceries during the day, which let's just pause for a minute and say how grateful I am that I have had the opportunity to stay home for a little bit. And I can grocery shop on a weekday during the day when the majority of people are at work or at school, because going to the grocery store on a Saturday or a weeknight in the evening versus a Monday or a Tuesday morning is a life-changing experience.
It is. I 1000% agree, because when Iris was little, I was a nanny. So I worked like 8 to 4:30 every single day, which was fine. I was super blessed because I was able to bring Iris with me. Yeah. So she was always with me. But yeah, it's like your grocery shopping is done like after 5 o'clock or way worse. I mean, it's fine. We do it. Moms do it. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
But like the blessing to get to go in the middle of a Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. I realize the privilege that I have with that.
Yeah.
But I think I've told you, I'm looking now to go back to the workforce, and that's been a whole thing. And talking to my family too about the disruption that that's going to cause for them, because they don't have to think about anything. They don't have to really think about who's going to do the laundry or when the laundry is going to be done. Although I will admit, I am a terrible folder of laundry, and there are always baskets of laundry that need to be folded.
I'm opposite. I'm like, as soon as the laundry comes out of the dryer, I am trying to fold it right then and there because I don't want to do it later.
Oh, there's like minimum 3 clean clothes of laundry upstairs.
I am a like must fold laundry when it comes out person. So
I despise folding it. I lost my train of thought with that. So talking to them about like
going back to work.
Yeah, like I can't just mop the floors when you guys are at school anymore, and pick up and do all of the vacuuming, and you guys can't expect dinner to be done right when you walk in the door. It's gonna be that mom's gonna need help with all of these things. So that's been I think it'll be a big shock when that happens.
Yeah, it'll be different for them.
Yeah.
But you guys are going to make it work.
Yeah. Do we need to take a little pause?
I think I'm going to take a little pause because Mama.
You can pick. You want to come here? Come on.
I think I just want pets. Thank you.
Okay. Picking back up.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
Again.
Yes.
Sponsors, man.
Sponsor less. One day.
One day.
There you are.
So we were talking about the privilege of being a stay-at-home mom and how our days look and everything. And you have the baby.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different world. Yeah. My days, I don't have the babies. I actually don't have any kids at home right now.
Well, you've got the cats.
Yes. And they're important. But I also don't get to like just sit on my couch. I go to the grocery store or clean. And then I spend a lot of time doing job hunting. That's a whole job hunting now is one of the most exhausting and defeating experiences that I
imagine.
I will apply for jobs and I will get on like a streak where I apply for 15 jobs in a day, you know. Yeah. ChatGPT is my best friend. I throw in the job description, I throw in my resume. I'm like, are there any oh goodness.
Got a little cough.
Are there any adjustments? And can you please write me a cover letter, you know? And I'll apply for these jobs. And then you almost forget that you've applied for who you apply for.
Oh,
and then
that makes sense.
One day you'll go and you'll check your email. And like the other day, it must have been Monday, I logged into my email and had 5 rejections. Just like,
it's got to feel so defeating too, like back to back.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, I can't be recognized. And then you're hoping for the best when you throw these applications into the abyss. Yeah. So I've taken to some internet stalking.
I love that for you.
I will, if the job description has like who you're reporting to, I go to the LinkedIn page and find the title. Like, so if it says this job reports to the CEO or the CFO or whatever, I'll go to the company LinkedIn page and I'll search the title, and then I'll find the person, and then I try and connect with the person
directly.
Yeah, and send them my cover letter and everything directly. Last Friday, I took my ass downtown and handed my resume to a company that I had applied for, hadn't gotten a rejection from. And then they reposted the position last week and I hadn't heard anything. So I was like,
what's going on?
This is just noise.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go. And that's how I'm older than you. What, 10 years older than you?
About, I don't think quite that. I think maybe 8.
Okay. Well, when I started working, a lot of like how we got jobs, either we got jobs because somebody knew somebody, which I feel like that's still how you actually get a job. You have to know someone that works there. Or we would look, I mean, I even remember like the white pages having, or not the white pages, the newspaper having like jobs. And then you would go, you take your resume there and you, I remember a day that I graduated from college and I went around in my suit handing out my resume to people. Like,
it does seem crazy that the jobs are there and
there are
the position
jobs
needs filled, and it's just like,
yeah, there's just so
what
many.
do you have to do? How many hoops do you have to jump through?
I don't, who, what, why? I said it, who?
It's fine.
I wouldn't, but I don't know. I feel like if people took a chance, I feel like sometimes if I could just get that interview, if I could just have that conversation and people got to know who I was and and it's so hard to put what you can do on paper. And then they see this big, that's the other thing I'm fighting. They see this big resume gap.
Right. The gap of time that you've been home.
Yeah. And just background on why I've been home. So I did get let go from my company in October of 22. It was almost serendipitous timing. My mom got sick shortly after I got laid off, and I was able to take care of her until she actually passed. And then I was taking care of her estate. And then by the time I started looking for jobs, it had been such a long time. So I have found some busy work, and I do a lot of the volunteer stuff with the Cheer Booster Club.
Which we're thankful for.
I love like I do love it. There's a lot that comes with it, I think, just because it's a startup. But I have taught myself the Google suite of products, and that's what we use because it's free for us to use it as a booster club. But there's so many companies that want you to have Google Suite experience, and I'm like, I have that. I know that. Like, give me a sheet. I will give you formulas. Whatever.
Give me the opportunity.
Yes, I'll organize your drive. I'll Google Doc the hell out of something. I've got it.
Yeah.
So transferring that experience where it's not like paid experience over into a piece of paper that is going to go through an AI generated tool for somebody to say, oh yeah, let's pick this girl over this girl who has experience up until current, has a paid job. Like, I feel like I have the experience. I actually have the jobs. It's just that nobody's
they overlook it.
Me. Yeah.
Because it's not like a real employed what you've been doing the last couple years.
Yeah.
It's defeating.
And sometimes even this a vulnerable thing, and my husband is super supportive and I love him to death and I know he loves me, but sometimes I feel like even he looks at me like differently. Like when he fell in love with me, I was this career woman and I did all these things, and he's even said, like, one of the reasons I fell in love with you is because you're so smart and because you're educated and you have this great job. And
you still, sorry, here I go. You still are all of those things, even without the great job.
Yeah, I can see that and I know that, but sometimes I feel like even he sometimes doesn't see that it may look different, but I'm still doing so much. Yeah. It's just different, and I'm not bringing home. I really need to bring home a paycheck. That's the crux of it all.
I get that, because I feel like the same with my husband. Like, I love him, he loves me, but like since we've had the baby, because so before I had Amira, I was working as a server part-time, like 3 days a week. And I made jewelry also on the side. So like I would do farmers markets and events. And since I've had the baby, I haven't been making any money. And I feel like maybe for them, they feel like I'm going out here every day and doing these things. And this is the stereotypical thing. And she's just sitting at home,
Yeah.
you know, like enjoying a vacation.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not really how our days look. But I think to them, it's maybe like, they're, oh my gosh, they're jealous. Like they want to sit home and be with the kids. And,
Yeah. Oh, there's
you know,
Michael and I have talked a lot about that. Like just that there are things that I get to do with the kids that
yeah, they
he
miss out on.
doesn't. And that is really hard.
Exactly.
And I like to try and think that I'm sensitive to that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes do I forget to be sensitive to that? For sure.
Well, and it's easiest to come at the person you love because you're being vulnerable and open with them,
yeah.
but like you're hardest on them because we have expectations of each other. You know,
Yeah.
like I have expectations of him and he has expectations of me. And it's like when you are frustrated, you come to your partner harder than you come to anyone else because you feel safe there.
Yes.
So.
And that's how our kids are too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
exactly.
sometimes it feels like they're acting out and you're like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
being such a turd? And
right.
it's really just that
you're the safe space.
Yeah.
You're where they can do that.
Yeah.
But I get that. I feel like my husband and I have been in that conversation recently too, because he's like, we need to make some money. We need to do some things. And it's also like you were saying, when you do get back into the work, force, home life is going to change. Like it's going to be different. The food's not going to immediately be ready as soon as everyone's home. You know, the groceries aren't going to magically be there. The floors aren't going to magically be, but like all of those things interfere with that family time that you're getting now when everybody's home, because it's all going to come together like that.
And we won't be eating homemade arroz con pollo for dinners because the time won't be there for all of that. Like I feel like even spaghetti and tacos. Yeah, boxed mac and cheese and summer sausage. And that's and there's nothing wrong with those dinners.
Absolutely not.
It is. I am a firm believer of like, if you're in that season and that's what works for your family, then that's your season and that's what works for your family.
Right.
So
we're all figuring it out at different times.
We are. Okay, so I have a funny story about Jake. I feel like I talked a lot about the girls in the last episode.
Yeah.
And Jake is a funny kid.
I've only been around him like I think 3 times my the entirety of knowing you, but he is funny, so I'm ready. Let's hear it.
He's funny. So there's a few like he just has little quick one-liners. So he has struggled with his grades. He's a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And as a mom, you try and tell them, it's different. You have to study, you have to do this. And one thing that nobody teaches you how to study.
Right.
You have to figure out how to study really on your own. So last semester I was really on him. You have to trust me, mom, trust me, mom, trust me, mom. So I tried and I let it go, and he finished his first semester. He didn't fail any classes. I don't even think he had any D's in any classes, but he definitely wasn't up to our household expectation.
Okay.
And I also want to say this so that I don't get hate. I don't think that every kid is an A student. I don't think every kid is an A-B student. I do think that there are C's C's are average.
Right.
C's are, I worked as hard as I could, but I didn't understand it.
Exactly.
Where I struggle is if you have an assignment and you didn't turn it in and you got an F on an assignment because you just didn't do it. And then you also got an F on the test. And so your grade is sunk because of those things. Like, what could you have changed? Oh, you could have actually turned in your work.
Right.
and you could have studied, and maybe you do get a D on the test because you don't really understand the material.
But you were responsible.
But you were trying. So as long as I see effort, I'm okay. So we've put some incentives in place this semester. I started trying with like, if your grades dip below a B, then you're grounded. But he didn't care if he was grounded. So I changed that. I called my sister who lives out in San Francisco, and they don't have kids. And I was like, hey, I really need an incentive for Jake to do well this semester. Do you think that if he can get his grades up and he can finish this semester with A's and B's, he could fly out there and visit you?
Okay.
Just him.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my gosh, I'd love that. That would be so great. We could do this. We could do that. Yeah. She's
super
already
fun.
planning it. Yeah. So I told him the incentive. So, and now he's trying. So incentive, if you, as a parent, you have to figure out what works best for your kids. Yeah. Some kids are discipline kids. Some kids are incentive kids. And I'm not
all saying different.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't discipline your incentive kids and you can't incentivize your discipline kids, but like
sometimes it just won't work for what their brains are. Yeah.
So today Jake had a test in bio, and I knew it yesterday because he had said he needed to study for the test, and last night it's also been really nice. So he wanted to go fishing with friends yesterday, so he went and fished with friends. And then he got home and he showered and he ate, and I got back from the gym with Molly, and I was like, have you studied yet? It's 9:00. And he was like, I was just going to go to bed and relax. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you can't go outside anymore until you study. If you don't study, like spend 30 to 45 minutes. It's only 9:00.
Yeah.
You're 14 years old. You're not going to sleep. I know better than that. Like just study some. So anyway, he had his test today and he got his grade. It came across, and I saw it come across, and his bio grade went up. But then he sent me a screenshot of the test, and it was a B, and his text message said, I'm an academic weapon. He's so funny.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
He's really just...
I love the things boys say too. Like, it's such a boy thing
to
say.
I'm an academic weapon.
Look at me go, Mom. Are you so proud?
So
that is hilarious.
It was funny. Last week he called me. It was a Thursday. He's going to be so embarrassed that I tell this story. Called me on a Thursday, and he was like, can you come pick me up from school? I can't do after school workouts. And I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, hurry. And I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I have to get home.
Oh no.
And I was like, okay.
On my way.
Okay. Well, his high school, the pickup line, if you're not an hour in advance, you're not getting through that pickup line until 30 minutes after school lets out.
Yeah.
So
right.
If he's in a hurry for whatever reason, I didn't want to make him wait. So I called him, and there's a neighborhood just like down from the high school a little bit. And I was like, why don't you leave and walk just down the street, and I'll pick you up kind of down the street.
Like on the corner?
Yeah. And he was like, okay. So I was watching his location. I'm kind of driving around because I didn't want to just, I mean, you're in somebody else's neighborhood. If I saw somebody parked outside my street, I'd be like, who's this lady? Like, I wouldn't knock on the window or anything, but after so long, I might call the cops.
Right.
Definitely texting my neighbor about it. Like,
look out, there's a lady creeping in the neighborhood.
Right. So he's walking, and finally I get to the point where I go to the front of the neighborhood and I pull in, and I like park over to the side just a little bit. I hadn't been there for 15 seconds before this guy turns in. And of course, there's a no parking sign right there. And this guy can't just go around me and let me have my day and let him enjoy his day. No, he has to stop and, like, with the window up, start yelling at me and pointing at the no parking sign. And I have the worst road rage. I proceed to lose my ever-loving shit on him. Like, I know there's no fucking parking.
Oh, no.
I'm waiting for my fucking kid. He's coming and da 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 da. Like I'm losing it. Anyway, Jake's on the phone with me and he's like, Mom, I just have to get home. Don't move. Just don't move. I'm coming. And he's like, he had to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
So he's just like,
you told that story.
he is going to hate me. But we got home. He was fine. Everything was good.
And that man ruined your day.
That man ruined my day.
For no reason.
Just because he wanted to
be mean.
Obviously, I saw the no parking sign. Mm-hmm. My car's not in parked.
Yeah.
And I just have the brake on.
Yeah. Yeah. People, man. Everybody's got somewhere to go.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They got to be
and
mad
everybody
at everybody.
has something to say.
Mm-hmm.
Just let people live their lives. Yeah. I wasn't hurting anyone. I'm not going to stay there. And that's not going to be a regular occurrence. Every time I pick up my kid, I'm not going to park in this neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you got to pick a different neighborhood next time. So
I'll go across the street.
It becomes regular. Yeah, just go to different neighborhoods, creep around. That'll work better.
Yeah, people do. Everybody always has something to say about something.
Well, and it's funny, like, especially, this is way kind of off topic, like, the road rage from people. It's like, where are you trying to get to quicker than me that you have to, like, speed around me, honk your horn because I'm driving exactly the speed limit or 5 over and you want to go, like, 10, 15 over? I don't know. I'm just like, where? And then they end up at the light right in front of you. Oh, yeah. Like, where did you
Or behind you if they pick the wrong lane. That's my favorite.
Where were you going in such a hurry?
Do you have a trigger, though? Like, when somebody is visibly mad at your driving, do you go off?
I don't really go off in the car. It's probably the main place that, look, here I go sounding all, the main place that I probably say the F word in front of my children.
Favorite word.
But usually if people are getting upset with me, I'll drive slower. Like, just to be annoying.
Oh, you will.
Or if someone's trying to pass me, I am petty. I'll just speed up and not let them pass me. So it depends on if they're, like, riding me.
Yeah.
Or trying to pass me. I'm petty, I guess.
I, like, really... I have a trigger. I start yelling at them.
I've never yelled at anyone. It's always...
They can't hear me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously.
But I'm very... They know I am.
I'll just be like... I'm just like, ah.
I flipped somebody off in the car pickup line before.
I've never done that.
At elementary school.
Did you? Never done that.
So, we were leaving and the buses were pulling out. So it was after school. The buses were pulling out and I was turning right. So yes, the cars all have the right of way. Mm-hmm. The buses are turning left. However, I'm not a jackass. And those buses have a route after they're done with all of these kids that are on the bus.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, as a human, mm-hmm. good human, let the buses go first.
Right.
And let them all turn left. And this woman who was in a Tootsie Toot,
she had places to be,
starts honking at me and yelling at me, and I just reflex throw up the bird in the rear view mirror. And Molly and Macy were in the car and they were like, Mom,
so embarrassed.
I can't believe you just did that. I was like,
well, this lady.
Anyway, the gym teacher saw it. She wasn't mad about it at all.
It's just crazy to me when people just are just like, we're not all people trying to get places safely.
Right.
You know?
What?
It's
yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
So we actually went on family vacation last year, and this was just a topic at our dinner table the other day because my husband, bless him, the kids, I don't remember if it was Iris or Orion, one of them was like, you remember that time we went on vacation and you flipped off that truck driver? And Skylar, my husband, he was like, yeah, he was like, we're just going to make this a family thing. So next vacation, because the kids asked, this is what happened. They asked, they were like, they wanted to flip the bird. And they were like, can we do that? And he was like, yeah, you can do it one time at the table. So the kids, like, we're so excited to put up the middle finger.
Yeah.
And then Skylar was like, next family vacation, if if someone's doing something stupid on the road, we're just the whole family. We're going to just, and I was like, absolutely not. And then both him and the kid, like, they're all like flipping the bird. And I'm just like, no, we're not doing that. And then, they're like, we're going to have Amira just hold her little hand up. And everybody's just driving on. And I'm like, we're not, hypothetical story, but they were like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
They're
Crazy.
So excited about it.
So they were, if you had seen the look on the kids' faces when he was like, yeah, you can put up your middle finger. They were both just like, grinning from ear to ear. I was like, these kids mess.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So I'll probably catch slack for this too. I am of the belief that a word is a word until you give it meaning.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some of my favorite words were given meaning a long time ago by somebody somewhere, and they're marked as bad words. Yeah. When really they are, just pretty words, that very descriptive words to put in front of other words that really truly like can show a meaning for something. So my kids know that they should not, because they are kids.
Yeah.
And there are certain, like, they are not allowed to say words around their grandmother. They are not allowed to say words in front of like a coach or a ref or an ump or a teacher. And even other adults, because other adults are. And then also it's like other kids, you never know, like if you're around a kid and you scream shit at your Fortnite game.
Yeah.
That other kid, either their parent could hear you, or that other kid could be like, yeah, Macy's allowed to say shit. And then it's like, well, you're not going to hang out with Macy anymore, just because. So I try to teach them those things, but I do think it's funny because they have a liberty to say certain things at certain times. So it's funny to hear stories or to see other kids get like the permission to say.
Yeah.
Because so I can picture all of yours just like.
And I'm not like, it's funny because to me, I grew up like very Christian household. Like we did not curse. We did not anything like, wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter growing up type, like.
Too bad.
Like, yeah. We've seen it now. The kids have seen it, but things have since changed. But I am still weird sometimes because for all the reasons you just mentioned, like, because if they do that at home or, because my husband's also talked to the kids, like, this is not appropriate in front of like your friends or, like we're home, we're saying this here. So for all the reasons you just said, but I sometimes am worried, like, what if they do say something in front of a friend and that friend's parents like, what you just said, you can't hang out. Like it's a worry for me.
It's a fair worry because you're like, my kid's no different than when you knew that child before they scream shit.
That word, Yep.
And in the correct context. I will never forget the first time I heard one of my kids cuss. It was Macy, and she was probably 3. And we were getting ready for school, and she was coming down the stairs, and the house that we lived in, you had like a half wall at the top of the stairs, and it was just like a straight thing of stairs down. And I came around the corner, I was downstairs and Michael was upstairs, and I looked at Macy and I go, did you remember your socks? And she dropped her head and she goes, shit. And turns around to walk back up the stairs, and Michael, he's popped his head over so fast and looked, and he goes, did she just say what I think she said? I was like, oh yeah, she did. I was like, that's on you, bud. Like, probably not. It was probably 100% me, but I definitely blamed him for that one.
Yeah.
So,
but who made them bad words? It is crazy,
right? Yeah,
it's just expression.
It is colorful,
very colorful expression. I like it.
Yeah. So, so this weekend
we have a cheer comp.
We have a cheer comp.
Are you excited?
Yeah, we actually have competition this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Me too.
So sometimes for our listeners, I guess, when we go to cheer competitions, our girls' teams don't always compete against another team that's their level. Even though there's tons of teams there, sometimes their specific team doesn't have another team that's
Yeah, so I guess this is an unpopular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had 7 comps so far this year, and 4 of the comps we haven't had competition
for your team.
For Molly's team. I cannot stand a Facebook post that says, "Oh, we won first place."
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I agree.
Don't take away from your kid in their performance.
Because they could have had their highest score or yes.
And a great weekend. So like, what does that Facebook post look like? It could be, Molly had a great weekend. Yeah. They had their best score yet. It was, they took home a medal, something, but like, do not call it first place.
I'm 100% with you on that. So I guess, because 2 of our comps, Iris's team has not had competition, but I never post we won first place if there's no.
Thank you.
Because I 1000% agree, and you're right. It might be unpopular opinion,
but even our gym will do it. Now I did text. So somebody posted a recap. One of the coaches posted a recap of this last weekend in the group me chat and put like first or second or whatever place all of the teams were, but then it was out of whatever. So Molly's team was like first out of 1 team. And I sent that coach a text and I was like, thank you so much for being real in that. Like, you have no idea how much I appreciate like that reality check of, okay, the gym didn't have a clean sweep because we didn't have any competition.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
I'm sorry if I pissed off anyone at the gym who may be listening with that. It's just a little pet peeve of mine, and I just feel like there's still ways to celebrate it without
saying we won first place, because it's not a true first. I agree with you, though. It's not a true first place win, but like, celebrate. We did great. We scored this. We hit 0.
Yeah, so that's another.
They served facials. They, all the things.
Yeah, had a great tumbling pass.
Yeah.
Perfect tumbling score, whatever. Or if they win level champions, celebrate that.
Exactly.
But hard to do that with some of the teams that we have against in the local area.
Hopefully, because we both our girls' teams have comp this weekend. So
yeah.
Hopefully it's
But
good.
if there's level champ, we're competing against each other.
Yeah, because we're both level 1 teams.
Speaking of reality and still like celebrating the girls and like their accomplishments, I guess at our gym we do have a male athlete, so I shouldn't say the girls, I should say celebrating the athletes. So one thing that we are going up against is, for listeners that are outside of the cheer world, the goals in cheer. And I guess I shouldn't say the goals, because you should probably set goals every season, and we don't have those set goals as a team. I don't feel like we do that as a team, and maybe that's something that we could suggest for next year.
That's honestly a really good idea.
Is like, what do we want to do so that we're not surprised? So end of season for teams, they have opportunities to go to big end of season competitions. And Molly's on a hip hop team, and they are going to All-Star World Championship in Orlando. And we've known about that since January. We got our bid in January. And we've been able to plan for that. And it's in
You saw it
Orlando.
coming.
Yeah, not in Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we've known from the beginning that that's been a goal of the coaches.
Okay.
Though I do think that the gym as a whole could probably do a better job of like realistically setting those expectations of these are the end of season goals or these are our season goals.
It helps prep the parents too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Molly's on a junior level 1 team. So she was on a youth team last year. And last February, we ended up with a wild card bid and went to Youth Summit in Tampa. Mm-hmm. And I had reservations the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because our team hadn't performed great all year, and it felt like we got this bid, so we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, Youth Summit was maybe $2,000, which
maybe.
And I say that, and I understand, like, holy shit, $2,000. Yeah, and that's airfare, hotel, car rental. Like, it is a to-do.
Yeah, a whole thing.
And I get that some of our listeners may be like, why would you do that? I don't know.
Like, I have no idea why
I don't know why I do it. But this year there were no youth teams, so she's on a junior level 1 team, and all year long we have been told that our team is a new team. They're a young team. We have a lot of young girls. We have a lot of girls that just aged out of minis, but there weren't enough girls to do youth. So they put these girls on junior teams because they're old enough to be on junior teams, but they are young athletes. Team. Yeah. And we haven't had a lot of wins. We haven't scored well on varsity score sheets until recently. And this competition that we had this last weekend, all of the other teams that scored ahead of us already had their bids to Summit, D2 Summit in Orlando. So now our team has a bid, and now tonight we have to like talk about if we're going to take it or not. And I'm just I do want to celebrate the girls because I think that they have turned their season around, but 1,000%. I don't think that a celebration means you have to spend $5,000 to go to Disney World.
Yeah, I get that. And I get what you're saying too. Like, if it's the beginning of the season, what are our goals? Yeah. Where do we want to go at the end of the season? Yeah. What are we going to do with this team? Like, that makes a world of difference.
It does. I mean, if I knew, because looking at that team at the beginning, and I mean no hate towards this at all, they are a young team, and watching those first competitions, it's like, I don't have to worry about an end of year event. Like, I don't need to start saving for that because I don't think that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And even I didn't even get the vibe from the coaches that was going to be a thing.
It was on their book or agenda.
Yeah. And then we got the bid, and it's like,
now you're like, oh crap, what's going on?
I may be cold, but I'm sweating under the armpits.
Am I going to be out another couple grand? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, because I'm going to need some talk about sponsorship. Anybody want to sponsor us? Because I mean, we, in full transparency, we had to do sponsorships for Worlds, like people that love Molly. Yeah, and shout out to Carter Lumber, who personally sponsored Molly. Yeah, and Cornerstone Flooring. I'm not quite sure how much they're in yet, but both of those are pretty substantial sponsorships, which was really nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Carter Lumber is Molly's boyfriend's dad's company.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
It was really sweet. What are you doing, sir? Licking your chomps?
He's back. He said, I want to sit on your lap, Mom.
Yeah.
Kate's cat. For everyone that can't see
one of them.
One of the three.
They're funny.
One of the 3 cats. I will say, though, I do feel like both your Molly and my Iris, both of their teams have come a long way since the beginning of the season, which is really nice to watch. Like, I love seeing that.
And something to totally celebrate. Exactly. I would love a big end of year party and some gift bags
Yeah, to be proud of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've come a long way.
Yeah. I just don't think I need to do it in Mickey ears.
Right. I'm definitely seeing our convos turning into like the cheer talk. This is what's happening in the world of cheer moms. Yeah, just gonna let's circle back to that.
In fairness, baseball season does start also this weekend. And
oh yeah, I forgot, on Sunday?
Saturday is pool play, and Sunday is like bracket play.
You are a busy mom.
Yeah. I don't get to go to the games this weekend though.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I'll be with Molly on Saturday, and then I'm picking up a fundraising shift on Sunday because that's pretty good money. So I'll watch it on the phone, but I will say there is usually always something to talk about with baseball too.
I'm excited. I wanna hear all about the baseball world. And again, I'm definitely gonna have to come. Like I said last time I was with you, gotta come scope out your baseball mom. How you act on the how serious you get into it. And
I do get serious. Oh gosh, there's nothing more embarrassing too than when you as a mom like really feel like you know what's happening and you start yelling something. Because I know you shouldn't yell at the umps. I know.
Do you yell at the umps?
You shouldn't yell at the umps. Have I yelled at the umps? Yes. Do I like to yell at the umps? No, it doesn't make me feel good inside. They don't get paid enough money, but
right,
like
that's fair.
There's nothing worse than like yelling, thinking, and maybe not even at the ump like for a call, but maybe just like something like the other team's doing something that you feel like is breaking the rules, or
right,
something
to be fair.
And you start getting up and yelling, and I will never forget. I forget what it was about, but I will never forget the look that Michael gave me, because he coaches the team.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. And he turned around. It was like this. It was like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. And like, he would never talk to me like that.
Yeah.
But like,
it was the look.
It was the look, and just the whole like,
your adrenaline probably like really gets going at the baseball games. Like, let's go.
It does. I mean, yeah, I've peed my pants. So this tournament last year, the St. Patrick's Day tournament, this team, it was the final game, and this team was just mouthy. And this one lady had something to say about everything, Molly. And while I a lot of times have something to say, I do not like. I will talk a big game. I'll be like, do I need to take my hoops out? I'm never taking my hoops out. Right. Like, I'm never getting in a fight.
Same.
But this lady was running her mouth, and I was sitting in one of those all-weather pods because it was freezing, and I was sitting with Molly's boyfriend's family, actually. So Molly's boyfriend plays on Macy's team. That's how they know each other. And the dad's name is Jacob, and this mom is just, and I pop my head out of my pod, and I go, "Oh, shut up!" And
she's good. She's sleeping.
For the first time in my life, and it's on video, I didn't say the cuss word. I didn't say it.
I'm so proud of you.
And the lady lost her mind.
When you told her to
I told her to shut up. And I popped myself back in. I zipped up that pod. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I said it. And I was sweating under the armpits. I'm looking at Kim. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Well, then she starts to come down, and her husband, and they're running their mouth. And Jacob is like, you need to stop. Like, he's uncalled for. He is like on art of anyway. The ump ended up kicking out that mom and Jacob.
Oh
no! And she kept saying, that lady cussed, and I was like, I didn't cuss this time. And Michael's looking at me like, are you lying? And I'm like, I didn't cuss. Anyway, he went back and watched the video like 15 times, and he was like, you're right, you did not.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So they had to do a playback of the interaction
not
that happened?
Not there. The ump was like, you're fine,
just,
lady.
yeah.
Like, just stay in your pod. Don't. I think
Michael
because I was there and like
Michael just didn't believe you.
No, Michael did have zero faith in.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So I do get a little
amped up at the baseball fields.
It's that other team. I think I said it the other day where it's like, I will always cheer for my kids, but I'm not going to cheer against a team. And when
be nasty,
when those parents get nasty, I just,
ooh. And that's so sad because that's what you're teaching your children. You're teaching your children to be nasty and have poor sportsmanship.
And at the end of the day, like this year, they're 10 years old, turning 11. Literally no one is getting a scholarship from this.
Yeah. They're just there to have fun, make memories.
Yeah. Win a ring. I mean, that is the goal. Win a ring. Like, just like when we go to those competitions, I don't want to go home in 4th place or 5th place. I want to go home champion. If we have to go home after game 1 of a tournament, it is
defeating.
Yeah, it's not a good weekend.
Yeah. But then, like, here I go, I'm like, there's a bright side.
There is.
You get to spend time with your family instead of being at the ballpark all day.
We spend time together at the ballpark. Yeah. So cheer comps, it's just me and Molly, but those baseball games, everybody goes. Like, Molly loves to go and hang out with her friends. Jake is the ballpark DJ. He plays all of the kids' walk-up songs.
Jake is so fun.
He loves it. Like, I thought for sure, because some of them are early days.
Yeah.
You know, like we'll have to get up and leave the house around 6 o'clock some days.
And I thought cheer was bad.
Oh, yeah. And I thought for sure Jake, being a teenager, would be like, I don't want to get up that early.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah, but he's all about it.
He's the honorary DJ for the kids.
No,
there.
Mom, who else would do this if I didn't do it? And I'm like,
it's his job.
Yeah, I don't know, bud. Figure it out. Hi, buddy. So
it's like, Mom, I need you.
Yeah.
The cat needs you.
The cat needs me.
The cat needs you.
So I guess our next one, we'll get to talk more about how the kids did and
how the weekend goes.
Yeah.
For the baseball and the cheer. Hopefully it's a good weekend for everybody.
I hope so.
And we'll be able to talk about it next week.
Yeah. This has been fun though.
Yeah.
We didn't say it though.
That we're not dying.
Yeah, we're just moms.
We're moms. Yeah. But you know what? We're not